Alright, so we got another RC airplane on the channel. It's been a while since I've done a review on an RC airplane. These are kind of hard to get these days. This is from Banggood. This is a P-51 Mustang, and it's from a company called MoFly. So another new company, haven't heard of them before. It does come with onboard video, which I'll show you here in a second. It's kind of not really for FPV based on the camera angle. I'll explain that later, but you can see that's what the remote and the video is HD. It comes to it's like via Wi-Fi to your smartphone, so probably going to have pretty high latency, so not really for FPV. There are the specs of the plane itself. 68.5 centimeters or 685 millimeters. So this is probably not quite a full-size plane. Like I'd say like a 1 meter wingspan is like a full-size RC airplane. It's not a micro, so it's kind of a mid-range, medium-sized airplane. So should fly a little bit better in the wind for those of you that are concerned about micros. It's also going to be a bit faster as well. So let's go ahead and take it out of the box and let's see what we got. Alright, so got all the pieces out of the box and everything arrived safely. There's no damage. So here are the tail pieces there. Looks like there's going to be 2 screws to attach the elevator and rudder. And here's the main wing, 685 millimeters. Those are the electronics, I guess, for the servos, for the ailerons, and then that's going to attach down to the bottom here. Looks like 2 screws there for that. And here's the camera. So you can see that it's going to go on the bottom of the wing. It's going to point kind of downwards. So that's not really ideal for FPV. It's going to go attached to the bottom of the wing right there. And you'll see that later once I install it. It's not really going to be good for FPV, but you can just record a video of your flight looking at more towards the ground. Although I believe this particular airframe should have more of a nose up pitch, so just going to be capturing footage of as I'm flying around. Here's the manual, and here's the extra parts here. So USB charger for the battery. It's a 2S battery. It is 7.4 volts, 1300 milliamp hours, and with a JST connector there, and you just charge it off that balance lead, that white balance lead right there. And here are the landing feet or the wheels, so they're pretty standard looking there. You got some screws. That's to attach all the hardware for the wings, and then you got your nose cone for the prop. Looks like here's the prop. Here's a 3-bladed, looks like a 5-inch or something like that. Maybe it's a 6-inch. Yeah, it's a 6-inch prop. 6x3x3, made by HQ. This is like a drone propeller. And then I think the motor in here, yeah, that's what the motor looks like. I think it's like a 2204 size motor. So again, it looks like kind of like a drone motor. And then you get some stickers to put on there. I'm not sure if I'll do that or not. And then these optional bomb pieces that can just glue on the wing, but I will probably just leave those off. This just adds more drag, but yeah, in terms of putting it together, it should be fairly straightforward. Just again, a couple of screws here for the tail pieces, and then a couple of screws for the main wing, and then probably another screw or 2 for the camera. These are the parts here for holding the phone to the controller. And that's probably going to screw in somewhere on top here. And it looks like this uses 4 AA batteries like most other controllers. Controller itself looks pretty nice for the cost of this. As they're ready to fly with a controller and a battery and everything. And they include this controller of this quality. Is pretty nice. It's got pretty almost hobby grade type gimbals instead of those really cheap toy grade gimbals. So should be pretty good to fly. So I'll go ahead and put this together, see what it looks like, and then we'll take it out for a fly. Alright, so run into a pretty big problem on this build. The camera, which I installed on the bottom of the wing there, as you can see, the cable is way too short. So you can see the aileron cables from the wing are long, but the cable for the camera is really short, and it needs to plug into that same board right here. And I'm not able to do it. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get any HD video from that camera, and I would recommend just staying away from the camera version. It doesn't seem like it's going to give you any FPV capabilities anyway, and it's just kind of a waste of money in my opinion. So kind of sad that they made the cable so short. It needs to go into that middle plug right there with those 3 open ones. And then those other 2 on the side are actually for, as the manual indicates here, you can use it for DSM2 or S-Bus. So I may do an Express LRS receiver version of this in a future video. If that's something that interests you, let me know in the comments. But unfortunately, no camera, not going to work, so sorry, no video for this one. Yeah, I just recommend don't even bother. It's a kind of a dumb mistake that I don't know why they would make the cable so short you can't actually plug it in. And I tried. I'm sure some other people got lucky and maybe got a longer cable and they were figured out. Mine was just too short, can't get it in there. So, all right, so got the flame fully assembled, got the battery plugged in, prop in place, batteries in the controller. I turned everything on, so I plugged in the battery on the plane first, and then just put the power button here and turn on the controller. You see the lights on here, and can move the control surfaces and the rudder. And you should make sure that it's centered when you're in the neutral position. So it looks like it's off a little bit, so I'm going to trim it. That's a little bit better. I might have to manually adjust the controls there in the on the wing itself. And then here's the elevator and ailerons. So right now it's in the manual mode, which is MM, this position all the way up. There's 3D mode, and then there's 6G mode, which is self-leveling. So I don't believe the gyro is active. Yeah, so you have to throttle up a little bit. So let me do that. And after you throttle up, you got your gyro. And it looks like it's supposed to it's doing what it's supposed to do, and then in your 3D mode you still have gyro, but then you should be able to, it won't self-level for you. It's basically like manual mode but with stabilization. And then manual mode is there's no stabilization at all, so you're flying completely based off of the controls. And you do have rates here, low and high rates, and then they have these extra buttons here for the different tricks. And so the upper left button is left horizontal roll, and the left lower button is half loop roll, and then the upper right is right horizontal roll, and then this one does inverted flight with one button. So that should be interesting to try out. Alright, we're at the field. Let's go ahead and plug in the battery and get this in the air. And make sure it's level. Turn on the controller. And then throttle up and down. That should connect it. And we have control. Alright. So I'm just going to start off in the beginner mode. So let's throttle up. We've got stabilization. And let's see how much power this has. It's got a fair amount of power for 2S. I hear a little bit of hogging there. I'm not sure what that is. Could be the way the prop is mounted. And I don't have the landing gear on here or the camera, as you can see. So we'll see how it flies. I think most of the other videos out there are have it with the landing gear on, but I think it'll fly better with less drag with no landing gear. And there's no wind today, or very little. See how it flies.
Ooh, nice. Almost hands-off takeoff. So I'm in low rates. And I haven't flown in a very long time, so I am probably going to stay in the beginner mode. I don't want to stall this. I got about half throttle. Let's bring it down. So this beginner mode, it's a little twitchy on the pitch axis. Let's see if I can bring it a little closer. It's kind of far. Bring it right at me here. There, nice rudder turn, mostly rudder there. You do have to kind of keep your airspeed up. This the P-51 does have a tendency to stall out if you don't keep up your airspeed. Doesn't seem like it's flying that fast. It's so weird because these P-51s, they fly fast usually. This seems slow to me. Yeah, I might take me a little bit of time to build some confidence because I haven't flown in a long time, months, many months. But these planes with these stabilizers these days are so good. Even people that haven't flown a long time or are just starting out, you're gonna find that this is gonna be a very good experience overall. No one likes crashing these planes. Who does? Let's come in a different angle here. Gonna come in like this. Just do a quick turn, build up that speed. Try to do some flybys here. So I was about 75% throttle there. I kind of sped up there as I flew by. So you can go fast if you wanted to, but it does seem to have a tendency to go slow. Look at how slow that's going. That's amazing. All right, I'm gonna switch the rates to, this is high rates from the low rates. Should give me a little bit more control. Yep. It's a little harder to see at that distance. I'm trying to keep it further away because the rates are a lot higher, so it's a little more twitchy. But I sense it's trying to stall on me. I'm gonna go back to the low rates here. Yeah, I have very little confidence right now. I haven't flown in a long time. I think I'm just gonna stick to this beginner mode. And I am not sure what's going on. Come on. Oh, I crashed. All right, I'm not sure what happened there. I didn't sense that the battery's fully charged, so the flight should not have landed that early. But I felt like I lost control of the plane somehow. I'm not really sure what happened. Let's just see. That guy landed pretty softly, so there shouldn't be any damage, but I'm always worried about the prop. Still have control. Strange. No damage. Everything seems to be okay. A little bit of dirt on the prop. Let's get that off of there. I'm not really sure what happened there. Let's see. Still have throttle. Very weird. I'm not sure what happened at all. Let's just take off again. Oh, huh. So I was pulling up in the elevator trying to get more altitude, and it refused to go up. I'm not really sure what's going on. That is very strange. I had full back elevator. Yeah, the elevator is like stuck. Yeah, not sure if you can see that. So the plane is level, the elevator is like this. I think the gyro is miscalibrated. Need to reboot the plane. I'll turn it off, unplug it, plug it back in. It's connected right away, it looked like. Alright, so the elevator's okay now. Alright, connect. Let's turn off the controller, turn it back on again. Alright, so the elevator's working again. And it's in 6G mode. But no gyro now. Very weird. No gyro. So I am in 6G mode. Before, there was stabilization after I throttled up. Now there's none. It's like it's stuck in manual mode. So I think this thing is toast. Wow, that kind of sucks. I think I flew for 5 minutes. That's unfortunate. Let's see if I put it into 3D mode. No stabilization. Let me try and reboot everything one more time. I'll turn the controller off. Let's unplug the battery first. Unplug, controller off. Alright, plug this in. Controller on. And throttle up, throttle down, connects. Rudder's working. Elevator, ailerons work. Throttle. All right, now the stabilizer is back again. So I think if you have sort of that problem, you're going to have to reboot everything, just power off everything and then start over. So let's fly it again. So something is definitely up with this, but it's very quiet in there though. Seems like it's okay now. It is able to fly slow, which is pretty weird. It's kind of weird seeing a P-51 fly this slow. It is a little unnerving actually, because I think I am flying it slow and the stabilization is pretty much making it not stall, is my guess, because otherwise this airframe has a really high tendency to stall. So if you like the P-51 and you're a beginner, maybe consider it, but I'm not sure about what happened with that, with the stabilization going out. Though it seems like it's okay now after I rebooted it. So perhaps the first time I rebooted it, I had to turn the controller off, which I didn't do. So that could have been my mistake. Bring it nice and close here. So even in low rates, it has a pretty good turning radius. So I don't know what's going on, but it seems like it's okay for now. That was a bit strange that it had that it just flaked out and then stabilization just cut out. and I lost control of the elevator. It just started drifting downwards. That maybe it was a one-time thing. I don't know. Oh, I tried to turn too quickly there without enough airspeed, and it almost stalled on me. You just saw that. So the stabilizer is not able to really overcome the tendencies of this the P-51 airframe. That's really that's what it wants to do if you're not flying fast enough, or if you turn too quickly. And you do have to use a lot of rudder in the turns. Oh, I think I'm having that problem here with the elevator. I'm not sure what's going on here. This might be a gyro issue where it. No, okay, it's okay now. Okay, I'm not sure what that was. I'm not sure what was that. It wanted to drift upwards, but I wasn't really pulling back. Very odd. So, I think I'm not super confident in this model, to be honest. Although, partially, a lot of this probably has to do with my lack of flying. I have not flown in a very, very long time. Flown these airplanes. I have flown lots of them here. You've seen lots of these videos on my channel, but this one has some very quirky characteristics. I'm not really sure how to explain it. Maybe the battery moved. It just seemed like it's a little tail heavy. I'm gonna have to check the battery actually, because I am feeling like I'm having to push down. All right, I'm gonna land this here. Come on, pick up some speed. Yeah, it's wanting to go up. I think that. Oh yeah. Yep. I think the elevator's having that same issue that I was having before. Now I was flying for maybe like 5 minutes again, so I'm not really confident in this model at all. So the throttle's all the way down, but I can hear the motor going. Nope, servo. You hear that? It's like the aileron servo has died. Alright, let's go ahead and unplug this. Alright, definitely something is broken. Something is definitely broken here. So I just rebooted everything again. Yeah, it's this servo here. I think it's burned out. It's hot. Well, that's a bummer. Looks like this video is over. So I think, yeah, I can't recommend this model. I'm not really sure what's going on with the stabilizer on this one here. And the servo is burned out. The elevator is just, I think after maybe the flight controller gets warm, and then the elevator control gets really wonky and it wants to pitch up. Like it's tail heavy, but the battery didn't move. The battery's in there pretty good, so it's not that. So my conclusion is, yeah, probably stay away from this model. There's a lot of other ones on the airplane playlist that are better. So that link will be the link to the playlist will be down in the video description. You can check it out there and check out some other models that I've had a lot of more flight on and more fun on and are more confident with. So I would stay away from this one. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. Talk to you guys in the next one.